She screamed before they reached her, not when the boots entered the room, not when the soldiers stopped in front of her. She screamed when she realized they were looking at the child. That was always the moment everything ended. The girl could not have been more than 6. Thin arms wrapped around her mother's neck, face buried against a coat that smelled of sweat, dust, and fear. The child did not understand the words being spoken. She understood tone, and her mother's body was screaming panic. "Please!" the woman cried. Not loudly at first. The word came out broken, almost polite, as if politeness might still matter. She had learned long ago what happened to children. Children were processed differently. Children were separated. Children disappeared quietly, sometimes to be fed, sometimes to be moved, sometimes to be taken where mothers were not allowed to follow. The details did not matter. The outcome always did. She tightened her grip. The girl whimpered. The mother did not loosen her hold. Pain meant nothing now. Pain was temporary. Loss was not. The women nearby froze. Every one of them had seen this before. Mothers breaking down, children screaming, soldiers stepping in. The pattern was as old as war itself. But the mother could not stop. Her body had already crossed a threshold. Logic had no power here. The American soldiers stopped a few feet away. Not aggressively, not gently. They simply stopped. That was wrong. Soldiers did not stop. They took, they ordered. They removed obstacles. They did not hesitate. One of them raised a hand. The mother screamed again, louder, more desperate. The words came out in English, broken, urgent, practiced. She had rehearsed them in her head for weeks. The girl began to cry now, not in fear of the soldiers, in fear of her mother. Children always sensed when something irreversible was happening. The mother dropped to her knees, still holding the child. Her body curled inward instinctively, shielding, protecting, preparing for force. The women around her did not intervene. They could not. Intervention only attracted attention. Attention multiplied consequences. The soldiers did not move. That stillness spread through the room like ice. The women realized this was not following any script they recognized. One soldier spoke quietly to another. The words were low, controlled, no anger, no urgency. That terrified the women, because calm meant deliberation. Deliberation meant decision. The mother rocked back and forth now. The girl's small hands clutched at her collar. "Mama!" the child cried. The sound cracked something in the room. Several women looked away. They could not watch this again. The soldier closest to them knelt. That kneeling again. Always the kneeling. Authority lowering itself. That reversal still felt wrong, still felt dangerous. The mother recoiled violently. "Bai Choshama!" She screamed. Her voice broke completely. Her arms tightened. The girl cried harder. The soldier stopped instantly. Hands raised. Empty. Open. That gesture confused everyone. Empty hands were not threatening. Empty hands were useless. The soldier spoke softly. Too softly. The mother did not understand the words, but she understood what did not happen. He did not touch the child. He did not grab the mother. He did not order anyone to move. The pause stretched. Seconds felt like minutes. The women's bodies remained tense, waiting for the correction that never came. The mother sobbed now, not screaming, sobbing. The kind of crying that happens when the body can no longer sustain panic. Her grip loosened slightly, not intentionally. From exhaustion, the child shifted, peeked out from behind her mother's shoulder. Her eyes met the soldiers for half a second, then darted away. That moment unsettled the women deeply. Children did not look at soldiers. Children were taught not to. Looking invited recognition. Recognition invited separation. The soldier noticed. His posture changed slightly. Not aggressive. Careful. As if suddenly aware of how fragile the moment was. Another soldier stepped forward. The women flinched collectively. 2 soldiers meant escalation. It always had, but the second soldier stopped beside the first. Did not advance, did not reach. He crouched as well. Lower, smaller, meeting the mother's eye line. The mother shook her head violently. Her breath came in broken gasps. "No, please, please." She could not form complete sentences now. Language had failed her. Only instinct remained. One of the soldiers removed his helmet slowly, deliberately, set it on the ground. That action confused the women more than anything else. Helmets were protection. Removing one was vulnerability. The soldier spoke again, soft, measured. The mother did not understand the words, but she understood the tone. It was not command. It was not threat. It was restraint. The girl's crying softened, not stopped, but quieter. She sensed the shift before the adults did. Children often did. The women exchanged glances. Not relief. Suspicion. This felt like a trick. A long one. A trick designed to make the moment worse when it finally came. The mother's arms trembled violently now. Holding the child had become painful. Her muscles were failing. The child was heavy. Heavier than she remembered. The observation was factual, not cruel, just true. The soldiers noticed too. They noticed the shaking, the way the mother's grip tightened and loosened involuntarily, the way the child's legs dangled awkwardly. One soldier shifted his weight. The mother screamed again, a raw, animal sound. The women flinched. This was it. This was the moment everything would collapse. But instead of reaching for the child, the soldier reached for something else. A blanket, folded, clean. He held it out, not toward the child, toward the mother. The mother stared at it in disbelief. Her screaming slowed. Confusion cut through panic. A blanket made no sense here. Blankets were for compliance, for quiet, not for resistance. The soldier waited, did not push it forward, did not force it into her hands. He waited. That waiting felt unbearable. The mother's breathing slowed involuntarily. Her body reacted before her mind could stop it. She took the blanket with one hand, never releasing the child, wrapped it clumsily around them both. The warmth startled her. She had not realized how cold she was. The cold had become background noise. The soldiers remained kneeling, still, present, not advancing, not retreating. The women felt something shift, not safety. Something stranger, uncertainty replacing terror. Uncertainty was dangerous, but it was different. No one in the room knew what would happen next. Not the mother, not the women, not even the soldiers. But one thing was clear. The expected violence had been interrupted. An interruption, once introduced, changes everything. The pause did not end the fear. It changed its shape. The mother's screams had faded into ragged breathing, but panic still lived in her body. It moved through her in waves, tightening her chest, locking her arms, making every small motion feel like a threat. She did not trust the silence. Silence had always been followed by force. The soldiers remained kneeling. That detail mattered. They had placed themselves lower than her, lower than the child. Power was supposed to tower. Power was supposed to loom. This posture confused the mother deeply. Confusion did not feel safe. Her arms ached now, not just from holding the child, but from the way her muscles had locked in defense. The girl shifted again, uncomfortable. The mother adjusted her grip automatically, tightening, then loosening, fighting against exhaustion. She was losing strength. She knew it. That knowledge terrified her more than the soldiers ever could. The women nearby noticed. They saw the tremor running through the mother's forearms. They saw how her breathing faltered. They understood what was coming before she did. She would not be able to hold the child much longer. And when she couldn't, someone else would. That was the moment dread returned in full force. Because separation did not always happen violently. Sometimes it happened quietly. When strength failed, when bodies gave out, when choice disappeared. One of the soldiers noticed the child's legs dangling awkwardly. The girl's shoes barely touched the floor. She was heavy now, too heavy to be held indefinitely. The soldier shifted slightly. The mother stiffened. Her body reacted instantly before thought. "No," she whispered hoarsely. The word was small now, worn down. The soldier froze, not out of fear, out of restraint. That restraint unsettled everyone, because restraint implied awareness. Awareness implied intention. The soldier spoke softly again, slowly. He gestured, not to the child, but to the floor, to the space beside the mother, offering, not demanding. The mother shook her head violently. She could not let go. Letting go, even for a moment, felt like surrender, and surrender had always been permanent. Her mind raced through memories, stories she had heard, stories she had told herself were exaggerations, children taken for their own good, children separated for safety, children never returned. She clutched the girl tighter. Her breath came fast, her vision blurred. The girl whimpered again, not screaming now, just tired. The child's fear had transformed into exhaustion. Children reached exhaustion faster than adults. That realization broke something in the mother. One of the women standing nearby took a half step forward instinctively, then stopped herself. Intervention was dangerous. Intervention made you visible. She remained frozen, heart pounding. The soldiers noticed the woman's movement, not suspiciously, observantly. That observation rippled through the room. The women felt exposed, as if any movement might change the outcome. The second soldier spoke quietly to the first. A few words, measured. Their tone remained calm, professional, not angry, not rushed. That calm felt unnatural in this context. War was never calm around mothers and children. The mother's arms began to fail. Her grip slackened despite her effort. The child slipped slightly. The mother gasped sharply and tightened again. Pain shot through her shoulders. She cried out, not in words, but in sound. A sound of strain, of desperation. The women flinched. This was it. This was where force usually entered. The body's failure created opportunity. The soldier nearest reached out instinctively, then stopped himself mid-motion. The pause was deliberate. He looked at the mother's face, at the child, at the shaking arms. He waited. Waiting placed the decision back on the mother. That was unbearable. She did not want the decision. Decisions meant responsibility. Responsibility meant blame. "I can't," she whispered. The words were barely audible. Not a refusal, an admission. The soldier nodded, not triumphantly, not sympathetically. He nodded as if acknowledging a fact. He reached again, slowly, visibly, not for the child, for the blanket. He adjusted it, wrapped it more securely around both of them. Then he gestured again toward the floor, the space beside her, offering support, not separation. The mother hesitated. Her mind screamed danger. Her body screamed exhaustion. She felt herself tipping, not physically, internally, toward collapse. She lowered herself to the floor carefully, never releasing the child. Her knees hit first, then she sat. The girl remained in her lap, still held, still protected. The room exhaled collectively. Not relief, temporary reprieve. The soldiers did not move closer. They did not reach for the child. They stayed where they were, giving space, maintaining distance. That distance mattered. The girl's crying softened further. She pressed her face into her mother's chest. Her small body relaxed slightly. The immediate threat, whatever it was, felt paused. The women watched in disbelief. This had never happened before. A mother allowed to keep her child, even temporarily, even while authority stood nearby. The guards remained silent. Their presence felt almost irrelevant now. The center of gravity had shifted. The mother rocked gently, slow, protective. Her sobbing returned, but quieter, broken, not hysterical. This crying was different. This crying was exhaustion. One soldier reached into his pack slowly. Every movement was visible, deliberate. The women tensed. Reaching into a pack often meant orders, or tools, or restraints. He pulled out a canteen, held it up, not offering immediately, showing it, asking. The mother stared at it. Water. Her throat was dry. Her mouth tasted of panic. She shook her head automatically. Reflexive distrust. The soldier waited, did not push. The waiting stretched. Her resistance wavered. Her body needed water. Her mind warned her against accepting anything. Accepting things created obligations. She nodded once. Barely. The soldier moved closer, just enough to place the canteen within her reach, not forcing it into her hands, not touching her. She drank in small sips. Careful, controlled. The water grounded her, brought her back into her body. Her shaking eased slightly. The women noticed the shift. Not trust. Stability. The moment was no longer escalating. It was holding. But holding moments in war was dangerous. Moments broke. One of the soldiers stood, slowly. The mother stiffened again. Her body braced. She pressed the child closer. Fear surged back instantly. The soldier raised his hands again. Empty. Open. He spoke softly. This time, the mother understood a few words. The phrasing was awkward, broken, but clear enough. Her breath caught. She stared at him, not believing. Belief felt dangerous. The soldier gestured toward another part of the room, a corner, separated, quieter. He gestured to the child, then to the mother, together. The implication stunned the women. Together. Children were never moved together with their mothers. That was not how camps worked. The mother shook her head slowly. Not refusal, disbelief. The soldier did not argue. He waited. Again. That waiting felt like a test, but not for obedience, for readiness. The mother's thoughts raced. If this was a trick, agreeing would be disastrous. If this was real, refusing could be worse. She weighed dangers instinctively, the way survival had taught her. The child stirred, looked up. She whispered. The sound anchored her. The mother nodded. Once. Slow. "I won't let go," she said hoarsely. The soldier nodded. He did not ask her to. The women watched as the mother and child were guided, not escorted, to the side of the room, still together, still touching, still intact. The soldiers did not close in. They maintained distance, preserved the boundary. That boundary mattered more than kindness. The room remained silent. Every woman watching understood something important. This was not mercy. This was restraint. Restraint chosen deliberately. But restraint was fragile. It could be withdrawn at any moment. The women waited for the next phase, for the correction. For the moment this collapsed into the familiar pattern, it did not come. Instead, something else happened. Authority did not reassert itself. It adapted, quietly, uncomfortably. And in that adaptation, fear changed shape again. The women expected it to end badly. They always did. Even after the mother and child were moved to the side of the room, even after the soldiers kept their distance, even after no orders were shouted, they waited for the correction. Corrections always came. Sometimes immediately, sometimes delayed. Delay often made them worse. The mother sat on the floor with her child pressed against her chest. Her arms ached. Her legs trembled. Her mind refused to settle. She did not believe this was over. Not for a moment. The soldiers remained nearby. Not looming. Not withdrawing. Present. That presence was unsettling, because it was unclear what it meant. The child's breathing slowed. The small body relaxed against her mother's chest. Exhaustion won where fear could not. The girl slept. That terrified the mother more than crying ever had. Sleeping meant vulnerability. Sleeping meant surrender. The mother adjusted her grip carefully. Supporting the child's head, shielding her face, she did not look at the soldiers. Looking felt dangerous. The women watched. They did not whisper now. This moment demanded silence. One of the soldiers spoke quietly to the guards, not arguing, not commanding, explaining. The guards listened. Their posture shifted, not submissive, uncertain. That uncertainty mattered. The women realized something important then. This was not a single decision. It was a negotiation. Negotiations were rare in camps. Negotiations implied flexibility. The mother felt the shift before she understood it. The room no longer felt poised for violence. It felt suspended, as if time itself had slowed to observe. A medic entered, not hurried. He assessed the child quickly, checked breathing, temperature. He did not remove the child from the mother's arms. He worked around them. That detail mattered. The medic spoke softly. The mother understood only fragments. Not taken, not separated, rest. The mother nodded automatically. Her body sagged with relief she did not want to trust. Trust made you careless. The medic gestured toward a quieter space, a small adjoining room. He gestured to both of them. Together, the same gesture as before. The repetition mattered. The mother hesitated. Every instinct screamed danger, but the child slept, heavy, warm. She could not move far on her own. The soldiers waited. Again, always the waiting. She stood slowly. Her legs nearly gave out. One soldier moved closer, not to grab, but to steady her if she fell. She did not fall. She held the child tighter. They moved together, not escorted, not marched, guided. That distinction mattered. The women watched them disappear through the doorway. No doors slammed, no locks clicked, just absence. Minutes passed, then more. The women waited. Every woman in that room knew this could still end badly. Delayed separations happened. Quiet ones. No one relaxed. The guards remained at their posts. They did not move to retrieve the child. They did not issue new orders. Their silence spoke louder than commands ever had. Inside the smaller room, the mother sat on a cot. The medic placed a blanket over both of them. Not ceremoniously, practically. The child stirred but did not wake. The medic spoke to the mother. Slowly, carefully. He explained what he could. The child would stay with her. For now. She needed rest, food, water, observation. That word made the mother tense. Observation implied oversight. Oversight implied control. The medic clarified. Together, he said. He gestured to both of them again. Together. The mother nodded. She did not cry. She did not thank him. Gratitude felt premature. Back in the main hall, the women waited. No one spoke. They listened for sounds, for footsteps, for shouting. None came. The statement felt unreal. Caution remained. Time passed. The tension did not break. It thinned, gradually, reluctantly. When the mother returned hours later, the child awake now, sipping water, the women saw the difference immediately. Not joy, stability. The child leaned against her mother's side, unafraid, still there. No announcement was made, no explanation offered. The moment passed without ceremony. That lack of spectacle mattered. The women understood something profound. This was not an exception made loudly. It was a rule bent quietly. Quiet bends lasted longer. In the days that followed, small changes appeared. Not everywhere, not always, but enough to notice. Mothers were not separated automatically. Children were assessed with their parents present. Decisions were slower, more deliberate. The women did not celebrate. They adjusted. Adjustment was survival. The mother never forgot that moment. Not the screaming, not the panic, the pause, The moment when authority stopped advancing. Years later, she struggled to explain it. People wanted clear heroes, clear villains, clear endings. She gave them none. She said this instead: they could have taken her. That distinction mattered more than motive. She never claimed kindness saved them. She claimed restraint changed the outcome. The child grew older, asked questions. The mother answered carefully. She did not tell stories of rescue. She told stories of interruption. She taught her daughter this lesson. Fear expects patterns. When patterns break, survival finds space. The war did not end that day. Suffering did not disappear, but something shifted, something small, and small shifts survive longer than grand gestures. The women remembered. They remembered the pause, the waiting, the refusal to escalate. That memory carried them through days when fear returned in familiar forms. Because once fear is interrupted, it is never absolute again. The mother survived. The child survived. Not because war became merciful, but because once someone chose not to complete the expected action. That choice did not change history, but it changed lives. And sometimes that is enough.